Hello guys, this is your tutor Alejandra Guero and this is your workshop number 1. We are going to cover the main topics of units 1, 2 and 3, okay? Let's get started. The first topic is gerunds and infinitives. Let's remember that a gerund is a form in English that ends in ing. And an infinitive is the simple form of the verb with to. For example, we say going, playing, sitting. Those are gerunds. And if we say infinitive, we say like to see, to eat, to play. Those are infinitives. Usually what we do is to memorize a group of expressions or verbs that are followed next to a gerund or an infinitive. So what you are doing, guys, is getting ready to memorize these groups, okay? They are in the book, so you can find them in unit number 1. There are some verbs that we can write next to an infinitive. For example, can, know how to, willing, be able to. Those are the verbs that you're going to memorize as the verb next to an infinitive. And then we have group number 2, that we have the verbs that are followed by a gerund. Enjoy, be good at, like, dislike, feel confident about. And we have another mini group that is a group of verbs that can be followed by gerund or infinitive with the same meaning. For example, intend, begin, like love, continue, and prefer. If you notice, I have some verbs that are in group number 3 that are in other groups. That's because in group number 3, you can write gerund or infinitive, and that is going to be correct. Let's see some examples. I enjoy being with foreigners. Enjoy plus gerund, being. I like taking notes. Like is the verb taking, gerund. By the way, when we use like, we can say I like taking notes, I like to take notes, okay? Both are correct. That is group number 3. I know how to speak English. Know how to speak. To speak is the infinitive, and the expression is know how to. I'm willing to work. I'm willing, that's the verb. Be willing to work is the infinitive, okay? In the book you can find more examples related to this topic. The main idea is that you memorize the groups of verbs, you learn when to use a gerund or an infinitive, and we are going to describe functions at work. That is topic number 1. Remember that if you have any question, you can send me an email, okay? Adverts of frequency. A lot of times we have seen this, probably in simple present. Adverbs of frequency are for expressing how many times or for how long I do something. Here I put some of the adverbs using a scale, like always is 100%, usually 90, frequently 80, often 70, sometimes 50. It doesn't mean that it is exactly that percentage, but it is for you to have an idea about the frequency of each of the adverbs. Occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. When do we use these adverbs? In simple present. In this case, we are going to use them in simple present. And in some occasions, we can use them with compound verbs, or that is a verb that has 2 words. What is the most important thing? That you know where to write the adverb. We have 3 positions. Let's see example number 1. I always arrive early at work. For most adverbs, they could be adverbs of frequency or other adverbs like occasionally, or we can say usually, or we can say undeniably. Those are more extravagant words that we can use, but in this case, it is only frequency adverbs. If we have all the verbs in English, the correct position is adverb and then the verb. I always arrive. Always is the adverb of frequency and arrive is the verb. You see here. I always arrive. So for most verbs, we write adverb and verb. As usual, we have an exception with the verb be. What is the verb be? Am is an R. Okay? When we have the verb be, for example, we write it, Anna is usually late. What we are doing is writing the verb be is am on R and then the adverb of frequency. You see the difference? Most verbs before, the verb be after. What happens when I have a verb of two words, like with will, have, a modal, like can or should? What we are doing is writing it right in the middle. The workers will never contradict the customer. So we say will, that is the verb, never contradict, that is the second part of the verb, okay? Will contradict is the verb, so we write the adverb in the middle. The next topic is describing resources and features. Here what we are doing is giving a characteristic of a place mostly, okay? This is what we have in the book, describing places. I made some examples about information of Costa Rica. So we say Costa Rica lies in Central America, okay? Lies is in present. For describing, we use simple present. Let's remember that we are talking about a country or one place. We have to write the S because it is simple present, eat. Let's remember that he, she, eat, we write the S or ES in the verb. In this case, we write S. Then, it consists of 7 provinces. This is example number 2. Here, we use the expression it consists of to say that the country has something or is determined by something, okay? In here, Costa Rica has 7 provinces, so we can use the expression it consists of. And next, we are going to say a noun, or we are going to say give a feature about that country, okay? In this case, 7 provinces. Number 3. There are many different kinds of animal species. We are going to use there are to express something that we can find in that place. There are many different kinds of animal species. Let's remember, there are is for plural nouns, okay? The other expression that we use for describing is there is, example number 4. There is a huge number of national parks. In the cases of there are and there is, you need to write a noun. We are describing a noun, okay? Many different kinds of animal species, a huge number of national parks. Well, in my research, I found that we have 20 national parks, but I'm not sure if that information is updated. So we say there is 4 singular nouns, singular, only one. A huge number, only one, a huge number. We say national parks, it is plural, but there is refers to huge number, just a number, okay? Example number 5. 5% of the entire world biodiversity can be found in Costa Rica. We can also give features about places or describing using passive voice. In here, in the example, can be found, we are using passive voice. Can, be, and the past participle. Remember that we have passive voice in present, in past, with modals, and we have other tenses too. But probably you already know how to use the passive voice in present, past, and modals. So we can use the passive voice in here for describing, okay? Now, asking questions. Super necessary. We have two types of questions in English. Yes, no questions, when the answer is yes or no. Do you like juice? Yes, I do. Do you live in San Jose? No, I don't. And we have information questions that are the questions I have to give information. What is your name? My name is Alejandra, for example. We have questions words like what, when, where, who, which, how much, or how many. Probably you are familiar with these WH words. This is only for information questions. Okay, let's see some examples. Where does the tour begin? Let's remember the structure of questions. We have the WH, auxiliaries. Auxiliaries can be in present, past, or future. In present, do or does. In past, did. In future, we have will. Present perfect, we have and the past participle. Where does the tour begin? WH, auxiliary, subject, and verb. Let's remember that if we write the verb with does, if we write the auxiliary does, we are not using the verb with s. How can I help you? How, auxiliary, subject, verb. This is an object. The word has the function of an object. What hotel you prefer? Sorry, that would be what hotel do you prefer? Okay? Sorry about that. What hotel? With what we can use what and the noun next to it. It has to be a noun. What hotel do you prefer? What kind of transportation you like? Okay? Is the hotel near the sea? This is a yes, no question. Is the hotel? Yes, no question using the verb be. Be, noun. This one would be the verb. No, sorry, the adjective or the complement in this case. It is the complement near the sea. What you are doing in yes, no question using the verb be is writing be and next to subject and then the complement. Does the hotel have a pool? Does, auxiliary, subject, verb, and complement. Auxiliary, subject, verb, and complement. That is the structure. Do you have cash? Do, auxiliary. You is the subject. Pay is the verb. And cash is the complement. Okay? For further questions, you can go to the workshop, okay? And finally, prepositions of time. We have 4 prepositions in the book, but I only put 3 in here, okay? We have at, when you want to express a specific time. At 6 o'clock, at lunchtime, at the weekend, at the end of the month, at Christmas, at 7 o'clock, at 1:30. When it is time, hour, we are going to use at. For days and dates. Days and dates. Days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. On Monday, on Tuesday, on Saturday, and when you have the date, on April 1st, on February 27th, on July the 2nd, that is a date. And we say on weekdays. For long periods of time, in 2016, in summer, in September. Notice that we also say in the morning, afternoon, or evening, and we say at night. And finally, when we say for, that is the other preposition of time, it is when you want to express a period of time. Period. For 2 days, for years, for 2 months, that is a period of time. Okay? This is the last one. Let me